It is Monday, June 10th, 2024, and I was here with one other guy today, and we got most of the anchor holes drilled. So the jig worked this time. I was thinking about it a lot over the weekend. When I left on Friday, I had filled that last hole in. There was one hole that got messed up on that post. I think it's showing up on the video. And it went to the side because there was a big void in it, so I filled it with mortar. And then when I came back today, I started with that. We got it drilled out pretty nice. The jig fits on top of all the threaded rods when they get dropped in the holes. And so we kept going, and today we drilled out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of the posts. The only ones left to drill are each end, and that's it. Yeah, that's it. We got to fix that one though with the wood on top of the post, because that one is the one that I tried my first jig on and the holes got messed up. I don't know how much we need to work on, but we set these two posts. The threaded rods are setting up in epoxy right now, and I got the jig on top to hold that pattern. And so we just need to drill out 2 more and set the rest of these in the epoxy. So I'm pretty happy with that. Yeah, I'm glad it worked out finally. But that's it. We're here from we got here a little late. We had to meet up and get the guys set up on another job, so we didn't get working here till like 9:30, and right now it's 4:30. So we're here for 7 hours, so we made good progress today, and we're getting ourselves back on track. So anyway, I'll be back tomorrow to finish drilling those out, setting the rest of those in epoxy, and then, oh, you know what, I might as well just climb up here and show it. So I'll be back here tomorrow to finish drilling and then setting them up, and the rest of them in epoxy. And then my metal guy said he's gonna weld the rest of those post bases to on Wednesday, and he was kind of holding off because I told him we might just do the masonry instead. So he was gonna try to save us some labor money if we didn't need those posts. He wasn't gonna fabricate them, so now he can get that done Wednesday and Thursday maybe. He said he was gonna start it Wednesday, so might be able to get this beam in the end of this week instead of last week like I hoped. But I will be back tomorrow, and have a good night. So it's Tuesday, I think, June 11th, 2024. That would be day 2 of week 6 on this job, and today was our day. We finally finished these stupid anchors on top of the posts, and I think we got them all pretty good. There's a couple we're gonna have trouble sliding the base plate onto, but between widening the hole or bending the bolt, I think we'll get them all in. So we switched up our method a little bit today. I showed my jig, my new and improved jig, but when we got in this morning, we had put the epoxy on those 2 brick posts on the end, and I slid my little jig over just the top of them to get them centered where they need to be. And so it's these 2 up here, and when you're standing here looking at them in person, you can tell they're not parallel to each other. So just because the top went through the original 5-inch pattern with the snug 3/4 inch holes, which don't have much clearance for any misalignment, they still were misaligned on the bottom. So we switched up our method, and so these two posts are going to give us a little trouble sliding the base plate on when we go to put the metal posts on top. But I think all the other ones we did today came out good, and the technique we used was with this block up here, which has our same 5-inch square hole pattern, but I drilled 7/8 inch holes in it instead of the 3/4, and the 7/8 inch hole matches to what the base plate is. So that up there, even though it's not as tight a clearance for those threaded rods to go through, it is longer distance and it holds them where they need to be. So let's hope that worked. They're all done, they're all epoxied, and the only thing I have to do really is put all the nuts and washers on them, and they should be ready for the base plate to slide on top. So we didn't have to go the route of building it up with masonry, which is good because that would have just extended the job, and this has already put us out over a week. I believe my metal guy said he can get here early next week to put these beams in with us. So his posts will be done Thursday, and then maybe he can get here Friday, but most likely next week. So I left that one up there, I left my jig on top of, because that was the hole that got messed up when I tried my first jig. It got pretty messed up and I thought it wasn't gonna work, but we didn't even have to drill it out anymore. But I am just leaving that jig on overnight. I mean, the epoxy will harden in probably an hour or so, but I got the extended work time epoxy, and that's been a lifesaver, because that rapid set stuff just really is set up way too fast. There's no time to mess with the anchors. But anyway, it is 5 o'clock. We got here about 9 today, 9:30 maybe, and I'm heading out, so I'll be back tomorrow. So it's Wednesday, June 12th, a little after noon, and I just came in today to get all the nuts and washers on top of these anchors. So we are ready to put these metal posts on. I meant to leave this ladder out. I gotta just go set this up so I can show nice view down the line. But all the anchors are in, all the leveling nuts are on top of them, and they got the washers on, and my metal fabricator was supposed to start welding those square stock tubes to the top plates and bottom plates. I think he's gonna have those ready for me Friday. So I just wanted to come in today and kind of clean up, get things ready. It's been a little while since I did a nice clean, so I used the blower, got all the dust and pollen out of here, organize my tools a little better. I like to do that a lot. Okay. So hopefully, oh geez, this thing's not stable. Hope that's showing up well in the video, but from my perspective, I got a perfectly straight line of bolts going all the way down. Yeah. That was a really hard part of this job. Not gonna lie, I knew it was gonna be tricky, but it was harder than I was expecting. So glad that's done, but I'm excited to move on with the next couple parts. Placing those metal posts. I know I'm gonna have a little trouble with some of these because this jig I made with the 3/4 inch, or no, these are 7/8 inch holes, so there's clearance. This matches the hole pattern on the base plate. This will not slide down a couple of the ones I anchored on 2 days ago on Monday. So I started out with those 2 posts down there. We used this jig on top, so we know the top hole pattern is good. But what this jig does when I put it on is it helps get them parallel to each other. And this helps to adjust the bottom of the bolts where they're in the epoxy. So anyway, we'll see how that goes. We can cut the holes bigger or bend excuse me, bend the bolts. But that's it. I'll be back soon.